It's a gloomy, rainy day outside, so why not come inside and have a peek at the layout here. The Minneapolis Northwestern N-Scale Model Railroad invites you inside to see how things look here today, or what I call the current state of affairs. Come on in. It's okay, go ahead. Well, here we are. The layout room. Whoops. This is the what I call the left side of the lower deck. Eventually, we'll have an upper deck. That's what this framing is here. You can see that upper deck here, where that's going to be. Got a train running around the room here. One of two trains. Layout is will be eventually. It's going to be 2 levels. Well, it's kind of 2 levels now. I'll show you the other level when we get over that side. 2 main lines, continuous run. One area in the lower deck that still needs a lot of attention is this little spot by the locomotive facility. Still trying to decide what to do here, what kind of buildings to put in place. So, still kind of undecided about that. On the right side of the room, we've got this narrow little passage here where the trains pass the helix, which is behind that blue backdrop. And finally, the lower deck here, the big wow corner, is the big trestle wooden bridge. This was actually the first part of the layout to get any finished scenery. It still needs a little bit of work yet. Got a little plaster repair down there, and there's going to be a little bit of water down there at the bottom where you just see kind of a little dirt area. And a little bit further back in the woods, there's a little coal mine back there. So, overall view of the room here. It's an access space back there, you can see, where I can climb back there if I need to and work on other parts of the layout. The buildings and the backdrops are removable, so I can reach through there and work on the layout as necessary. And now for the messy part of the layout over here. Here's the messy part of the layout. This will eventually be the upper deck, and thus far all I have is some temporary track that comes all the way up the helix and 2 simple little loops that just run back around under the table here and back down the helix. Now all this stuff is sort of my junk magnet up here. This lumber and this piece of foam will eventually be moved over here and form the upper deck. And so once the upper deck goes in, the only viewing angles for the lower deck will be down through here. So I need to make sure I'm ready to put the lid on before I do it, because once that cover goes on, it's going to be a little hard to reach in here and do any major work. But I can still reach in pretty far, especially with that access space back there, and reach most of the layout, any of the big spaces I need to get to. Eventually I'm going to be doing a new control panel. This one's been sitting here for about 3 years. That's one of the to-do projects here, is to redesign, rebuild a new control panel. And again, like I said, there's a helix back here that connects the 2 levels. The helix, oh boy. You want to see the helix? Okay. Oh, here goes the train. I'll take a look at the train here as it goes by. And then we'll climb under the helix here. Alrighty. Most of the room's pretty clean, except for down here under the helix. Oh boy, here's the mess. Well, here we are in the helix. You can see train working its way up. Another one up here working its way up. You know, if I had this when my kids were young, this would be where they would have had their timeouts. You didn't get your homework done last night, young man. Under the helix you go.
What, Dad? Do I have to?
Go on. You can see a train working its way up through the helix. Now, everything in here works pretty well. Occasionally I have some problems. And when I do, of course, guess where it is? Down here in the helix. Helix has got about 6 loops. Climbs 16 inches from lower to upper deck. And depending on the speed of the trains, can be anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes for trains to work their way through the helix. So here we are. In the helix. Okay, well, I think we spent enough time in the helix here, so I'm trying to find my way out of here. Yeah, okay. Let's go back out. Okay, boy, get back out from another helix. Well, as some of you may have been watching some of the other videos on the YouTube, this is where that big station is going to go that I've been working on, back under there somewhere. Here you can see the temporary tracks where we've got all the pieces for the upper deck supported here. This is all just temporary, so I can still run the trains. But that big Union Station project is going to go back there somewhere once they get the deck ready here. There'll be a large freight yard around here, through here, and then on the upper deck is going to be a nice big freight yard, extension of the freight yard, and somewhere about over here will be a big engine facility with turntable and coal tower and all kinds of good stuff. So that's the plan once we get there. Here we are running the trains around the corners again here. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm looking forward to maybe next year get this thing done to where I can finish off that corner over there in the lower deck where it's still kind of pink. Get that done, and I got a few kits to finish, some lights to add to some of the buildings in here. So I hope by the end of the year I'll get this done and get working on the upper deck. Lots of exciting things to look forward to there. So thanks for coming by. Hope you enjoyed the video, and happy railroading to you.